back in the day in middle school, I thought maybe I wanted to be a nun. I've been every belief in the book. And honestly,
Han Meditations.
Hello guys, I am Han. This is Kelly.
hi.
We are Han Meditations. We're back with another interesting video. In this video, we wanted to talk about spiritualism versus religion. Now, we've actually learned a lot about Islam. We've learned a lot even about Christianity, about religions such as the Vedanta sect of Hinduism. And we've just started talking. We always have these conversations about spiritualism, about religion, how a lot of times they come together and a lot of times how they differ. Now, we still do accept a lot of the aspects of spiritualism like we do in religion, but there are some negative aspects to spiritualism that we do want to talk about. And one of them is a lot of times whenever you're talking to someone spiritual, it's almost as if they're spiritual because, for lack of a better word, they're lazy. Now, this is not everybody. But I know some people in my personal everyday to day life that, they don't want to be in a religion because, in a sense, they feel like it's going to tie them down. They feel like they're lazy. They feel like they're not going to really almost like, it seems like they just want to do it for selfish reasons, because in spiritualism, a lot of times you can believe what you want to believe. Mm-hmm. If you allow yourself to have that mindset where you can think, oh, everything is good. Yeah. Anything is acceptable. I can talk with this deity, with this being. I can do this low vibrational thing. I can do that. I can do magic. I can do all kinds of things. Whatever I feel like doing in any scenario. And to me, that's not right. Don't you agree with that, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is coming from people who have all different beliefs in the book. I've had times where I connected more as like a spiritual person. I've even had times where I didn't believe in God, did believe in God. Back in the day in middle school, I thought maybe I wanted to be a nun. I've been every belief in the book. And honestly, what I found recently is I've had the same, we were just talking about this like a couple days ago. And I'm always thinking whatever. So I just had this like realization where I'm like, I really feel like, of course, not for everybody, but I'm just going to call it like it is. Like spiritualism, going that route instead of at least considering a religion is an easy cop out. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it like it is, because you don't have to have any discipline. You can just fly with the wind and believe and look up whatever you want to look up. Oh, this resonates with me. This resonates with me. This resonates with me. This feels good to do. This feels good to do. This feels good to do. And you don't have to have a set thing that you do every day. You don't have to have a set discipline, practices that you don't feel like doing. But people don't realize how important it is to do things you don't do. And it's not just with your relationship with God and your soul. In any relationship, right? Husband and wife, you can't just do what you want to do. A parent and child, you can't just do what you want to do. You have to do things you don't want to do in life. That's what builds your strength. Like, we didn't come to this planet to just do what we want to do. Otherwise, we'll be shaitans.
Yeah,
right?
and the real issue is that there's no set rules. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. I know some spiritualists that they do have set rules and they do live by principle. But I'm just talking as a whole because we're talking about some of the negative aspects of it. So, for instance, one of the things that we respect about Islam the most is that they're praying 3 times a day. And Kelly and I, we started doing that. Now we're praying 3 times a day, sometimes even more, getting on our knees and praying to God. And once you feel that connection with Allah, with all that is, that really, the other day I was feeling a little upset. I got down on my knees, did the prayer, and I felt a weight lifted off of my back, off of my shoulders. And it's easy to say if you're a disciplined person and you're praying every day and you're meditating and you're just a spiritual person, okay, but most people are not that disciplined. So they don't necessarily truly believe it. If you speak to someone who's a Muslim, if you talk to me about Islam or whatever, I truly believe it. So I'm praying every single day. I'm going to do what I need to do to be the best version of myself at all times. Because I truly do believe that is the best way to operate. That's the best way to move in this reality. And in 2025, a lot of people are losing their way. they're losing it. And a lot of people are regaining their way and coming back to God and coming back to religion. I'm not saying necessarily you have to be this religion or that religion, but if you do not have a set of rules, and if you do not have God in your life, and you're walking around thinking that you know everything, that's a problem. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I think it's a really interesting thing because in religion, well, at least the Abrahamic religions, the end times and, judgment day is a very big part of the religion, right? Where essentially some people who are connected enough to God or Muslim or whatever the belief is for the religion will surpass to Jannah, go up to heaven, whatever the belief is, right? And then the people who didn't follow the right path will go somewhere else, you could say. And in spiritualism, there's this thing, basically what people believe in is called the new earth. And people really believe that there's
not all people believe.
Well, not all people, but this is like
it's
concept.
Basically like a niche concept in there. But.
That essentially there's going to be a new earth where some people raise their vibration high enough. Almost, okay, so you guys remember like the ancient Mayans, how their civilization just looked like they just poofed out of thin air and were just gone and no one has an explanation for it, where it's like people will be high enough, and to me, raising your high vibration is going closer to God. Because you're happier, you're more peaceful, you're more loving, all the things that God teaches, right? And the people who don't are going to be lower vibration. And they will stay on the old earth, and the earth will be a very low vibrational place. And the people who raise up will go to a high vibrational earth. So it's a really interesting thing. And some people who talk about this in that space say that things will start splitting as we get closer. The people who are going to go down the wrong path will go farther and farther into this fake world, this world of disillusions. And then the people who raise up will start seeing the truth more and more and more and becoming very good versions of themselves. And it really does, I think it's exactly parallel with the beliefs of Judgment Day and the end times. And so I think it's really, really interesting concepts. That those things are so similar. Yeah,
and those are the aspects that whenever you have to, seek and you shall find. And one of my favorite things about Islam, again, is that we had no idea when we first started researching it, is that it encourages you to learn more information. It encourages you to seek more knowledge. And once you continue to seek more knowledge, you learn more religions. For me personally, I've realized that God is the most important and the most powerful, and that it is important to humble yourself before God, because there's people that teach, oh, you are God and I am God. So, you're the most powerful being in this and that. But, that's just feeding into your own ego. You have to believe that you are a creation of God and you are powerful. But don't walk around thinking that you yourself are God, or you'll become an egomaniac. You have to sit there and humble yourself before a higher power and relinquish everything to that higher power. I mean, I had a meditation the other night where I was praying and meditating, because Kelly and I, we started doing that. We started meditating, and then we'll get on our knees and start praying. And, I had just such a wonderful experience where it was just like I knew that I needed to just give my life to God, and I was giving my life to God over and over and just humbling myself before God. And I felt that high vibratory energy, that high plane of existence. And a lot of people, they need to just be disciplined. They need to actually do the research and look at everything. A lot of people these days, I mean, especially if you're young, you're worried about everything but God. I mean, you're disillusioned in this world. Whether you're worried about politics, whether you're worried about dating, whether you're worried about what job you're going to have, whatever you're worried about when you're young is not important. You need to be focused on God, and then everything else will fall in line. So, Kelly and I, we have a beautiful relationship. And, sometimes we know that spiritual warfare is real. We can feel Shaitan's presence at certain times, trying to get us to argue, trying to get us to fight. And at the end of the day, if both of us just sit and allow God into our life, there will be no problem. And I know a lot of times it's easier said than done, but you have to think you have control over your body, right? You have control over your mind, right? And if you don't have control over your mind and your body, then who does? Because if I say give yourself to God and you're saying I can't, then who has control over you? That's how you know if you have a shaitan. That's how you know if there's a demon lurking within your psyche, within your mind, trying to get you to do something bad, because you cannot give yourself to God. So let us know what you guys think about this topic. It's really interesting, and we like talking about this kind of stuff. So if you guys want us to do more videos like this, let us know. We definitely will. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and donating. We're close to 100,000 subscribers. We're going to do something special. We're going to go live when we get there. We might be there tomorrow. Who knows? We love you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video.